in a interview and went to the very final round and still was not able to secure the job opportunity as a woman in leadership. In this video, I'm going to share with you why you are struggling with your interviews as a woman in leadership. I want to say before I go into this video that if you clicked on this video, there is a reason that you are here. You may be really struggling with the interview process. You're looking for another opportunity. Perhaps you're trying to start your own business, but you need to have a position in the interim before you transition. There's a lot of reasons why you're looking for particular types of roles and etc. However, there's a reason you're struggling, and I want to talk about it now. And it truly does come down to one thing. One thing, friends, that you need to learn how to master to do better with your interviews. Now, you may think, before you click off this video, this is clickbait, and I'm just talking about one thing when there's so many things that go into an interview. It really comes down to one thing, and I'm going to share that with you in this video today. Now, you're going to learn from my over 20 years of experience as a director, a C-suite executive, and a manager, and a public speaker. I have done hundreds of resumes, looked at hundreds of resumes. I've completed hundreds of interviews at this point, and I have seen some really great interviews, and I've seen interviews that have not been that great. Now, I want to just talk about why you're struggling and give you some insight in terms of how you can do better. Now, my channel specifically, in terms of my direct one-on-one audience that I provide executive coaching services to in my practice are women in leadership. However, on my YouTube channel and on some of the other platforms that I have accounts on, such as LinkedIn and at Instagram, I have many people that are not in my target audience that are subscribers or followers, such as women that are not leaders and men in leadership. I am so grateful to have all of you here, even if you're not in my target audience that I provide one-on-one services to, because the information that I'm going to share with you is very universal. There are certain aspects that are specific to women, but in this video, some of the things I'm sharing with you, you can apply even if you're not in my target audience so that you're not struggling with your next interview. If you are watching this portion of the video, you are more than likely watching the replay, friend, and I'm glad that you are here today, spending a few minutes out of your time with me. This is a live video. Bear with me just for a few moments, because typically on YouTube, there is a point in time where the audience will start to join, and I want to say hello to everyone, and then we're going to go into why you might be struggling with your interviews. So let me know in the comments below what questions you have about this topic. Have you ever struggled with the interview? And if you have struggled with the interview, today is your day, friends. Put some things in the comments below. Let me know, what are you struggling with, and let's have a real discussion. Learn from my over 20 years of experience to help you elevate how you are interviewing so you can secure that next opportunity that you are looking for. All right, we have John Dellinger-C2H. Welcome, friend. Hope you're doing well today. And we have hello, my sister from Sudan. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here all the way in Sudan. Hello. Let me know where you all are joining from in the big, beautiful world today. Number one. Number two, let me know, have you ever struggled in an interview? Simple. As a leader, have you ever struggled in an interview? Let me know in the comments below. What about interviews makes you nervous? What do you struggle with? Let me know so I can support you all on your journey. Now, there's several factors that go into interviewing, and I have a lot of videos here on my channel, specifically on my live tab, that talk about interviewing, how to make your resume stand out, and other types of great insights to help you elevate yourself as you are interviewing. So feel free to take a little bit of time to look at my live tab. You'll learn a lot. There's some information about salary negotiations. I have several live videos about salary negotiations. I also have a pre-recorded video on my YouTube channel that talks about salary negotiations in more detail. And if you want to go even more detail as a woman in leadership in terms of salary negotiations, I have a masterclass that's posted on my website at www.exciteexcellence.org under products and services that you're welcome to take a look at too. So there is a wealth of knowledge here, friends, to help you do better on your interview. But today I want to focus on why you're struggling in your interviews. Now, in the comments below, even if you're watching live or in the replay, how many of you have ever struggled in an interview? I have struggled in an interview myself. I know many of you have done the same, which is why you're clicked on this video. So let's talk about the number one reason why people struggle in interviews. I'm going to share with you a few topics, issues that people have told me over the years, and let me know which one do you feel like resonates with you. Some of the time, I hear from many people in the interview process, particularly women and men in leadership, that they don't know what to say. They're nervous. They are unsure of how to answer certain questions. They're not able to think on their feet. They feel like they cannot be their authentic selves. Sometimes they feel like they are completely lost in terms of what questions they want to actually ask the interviewer, and so on and so forth. So let me know in the comments below, what are some things that you struggle with in an interview? Let me know so we can talk about them. When you think about these common issues that come up a lot of times when people are trying to do better in the interviewing process, it comes down to one thing. And I know you're going to say, there's no way it comes down to one thing. Yes, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to your ability to speak in public. Now, before you click off this video, hear me out for just a moment. You may be thinking, well, what does my ability to speak in public have to do with an interview? That doesn't make sense. Well, some of the struggles that people have, nervousness, not knowing what to say, not knowing how to say it, not thinking on your feet, these are all strategies that you will develop as a public speaker. I want to clarify a myth for you all today. Many people think public speaking is you speaking to a large group of people, that it involves you being in a conference, maybe you're in a boardroom, maybe you're at a conference promoting your organization, or maybe you're giving a dissertation, or maybe you are showcasing your business, or maybe you are a elected official, maybe you're a politician and you're speaking with your constituents. People tend to think that public speaking is only for these very large type of situations where you are communicating with a very big group of people. I want to mention to you that this myth that people have about public speaking is the reason why so many people struggle in their roles as women in leadership, as men in leadership, as people in general, especially when it comes to communicating in the interview process, because they think that public speaking skills are not used every single day. I want to share with you all, this is the real story. And on my channel, I talk about real scenarios, real strategies, and real techniques that will actually help you to stand out from everybody else as a leader. Public speaking is not only for your TED Talks, your public events, your conferences, your boardroom meetings, your business meetings, your conversation with your constituents, your YouTube channel, your Zoom meeting, or etc., or your podcast. Public speaking is not only for those particular type of avenues. Public speaking is also for your day-to-day conversations that you have with other people. This is the reason why you are struggling with your interviews, because there's a certain aspect of public speaking or communicating that you might be struggling with that you want to fine tune and do better on. Now, I will mention to you that I have a couple resources for you that you can check out, specifically if you're a woman in leadership. There is a strategy session link in the description below. You're welcome to give me an opportunity to talk to you and learn more about what you're struggling with. So take a look at that. I also have an executive communication masterclass on my website as well under products and services. You're welcome to take a look at that as well. It will help you to start learning how to communicate a bit more when you're under pressure. And these resources will help you. But ultimately, what is it about public speaking that you are not doing well at is what you want to try to focus on and enhance as it relates to getting ready for your interviews. Excuse me. Sorry, for example, I've been under the weather. My nose is like a little, not feeling that great. But let me clarify this. For example, there are people out there that say, I don't know how to think on my feet when I'm in an interview. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. Well, the best way to address this issue is to prepare your responses in advance. Think about what it is that you want to say. I tell my clients this all the time. When you're going into the interview, they don't know you as much as you know you. Therefore, you can control what you say about yourself and what you don't say about yourself. Many times people struggle because they don't feel like they're ready, or they don't feel like they can talk about themselves. And I encourage you to do that. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you talk about yourselves and share what makes you amazing to this particular hiring manager, individual you're speaking to, organization, people, group, and etc. Not knowing what to say and thinking on your feet goes directly to public speaking. As public speakers, we have to prepare what we're going to say and think about our talking points in advance so that we know exactly what it is that we could potentially talk about in a setting. How can this help you in an interview? If you take a few moments, and I've done this with my clients many, many times to help them prepare for interviews. If you take a few moments to think about a couple things, and this is what I tell my clients in a one-on-one executive coaching session, or if they work with me or sign up for a package for interview support, this is what we talk about. So I'm sharing this with you as someone that is not my client, but this is good information for you to know. You have to take some time and figure out what it is that makes you unique. What are some accomplishments that you have done that you would like to share to your hiring manager? This is important because this is how public speakers think. We plan ahead. We think ahead in terms of what specifically it is that we are trying to accomplish in an interview type of setting. That's number one. Another thing people worry about is that they're nervous and they don't know what to say. When you're nervous, there is a certain amount of just worry that you have. There's typically some type of skill set that you are not confident in, and I don't know what that is for you. It could be you just are not comfortable with your own voice. It may be that you are struggling to make eye contact with an interviewer. It could be so many things that are causing you to feel that anxiety, that nervousness there. However, when you are in a setting, when you are starting to master how you are communicating and becoming a better public speaker, you will not feel as nervous, especially when you're in an interview setting. Why? Because you are feeling more confident with what you are saying to other people, and you are at a place where you know that you are showcasing your expertise to them. This is what happens when you start to become a better public speaker. I can guarantee you, if you start speaking better in public and learning some of the skills that I share on my channel, I go into detail at length on my channel, you will automatically do better in your interviews. You will. Many people go into interviews that are highly accomplished, very, very successful individuals, and they go into the interview and they go into interview round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, which, by the way, I will like to say, and this is definitely me concerned, I don't know why nowadays interviews go to first, second, third, fourth, fifth rounds of interviews. It's like, it's ridiculous. I don't even understand it. It just makes no sense to me. We could talk about that in another video, but nonetheless, I've had people that have been in those first, second, third, fourth, fifth round, sixth round interviews, very accomplished individuals, and they still are not able to secure the job. Why? Because they are lacking in some form of a public speaking skill. One that comes up a lot in interview settings is being concise. Being concise is hard. It's very, very challenging to do. I want to know from you, have you ever struggled with being concise? Have you been the person that has been very concise? Or have you been the person that tends to ramble a little bit? Let me know in the comments below. Now, many people struggle with being concise in an interview setting because they don't know what to say, and they will just start talking and talking and talking and talking. And when they talk like that, they think they're saying everything they need to say in their mind, but their hiring manager is completely not listening to them. And I'm sharing this from my over 20 years of being in the opposite seat as the hiring manager. If you're talking and talking, the friends, there gets to a point where we're sitting here looking at the clock like, wow, It's taking a really long time. Let me see how I can wrap this interview up because I have other things to do. Literally, that is what happened. If you've ever been in an interview where someone has been very abrupt with you, either one, the person just flat out rude, okay, that happens. There's a lot of people out there like that, unfortunately. Or two, you're talking too much. You're talking way too much in your interview and you want to be as concise as possible. Conciseness, once again, comes down to planning ahead and becoming a better public speaker. I tell my clients this too. You want to start developing your own internal clock in terms of how long you're speaking. You cannot develop your internal clock unless you practice public speaking in a confined setting to help you understand what your clock is. If you want to learn more about this and these strategies I'm sharing with you, then contact me for a strategy session in the description below because I will help you with this. I can share with you only but so much here on YouTube. This is very general information. I'm showcasing my expertise to the entire world, and I want you all to be really successful as leaders, which is why many of you are subscribed to my channel, because you know you're communicating well, but you just need to go to that next level in terms of how you communicate. And I can only do but so much here. I can only share with you but so much. There comes a point in time, friends, where you have to get that one-on-one customized support just for you to address your specific issues to help you move forward. The content here is great and it will help you be able to communicate at a higher level, but there comes a point in time when you're elevating, you have to reach out for support. You're welcome to reach out to me and work with me as your executive coach, or in a group setting. We can do that as well in terms of working together to get you to the next level, or whoever you want to work with. But I just want to let you all know, public speaking is the reason why you are probably struggling with your interviews. Being able to speak concisely, being able to showcase your value in a very quick way, being able to not ramble, having the ability to think on your feet, preparing some of your answers or your main key talking points in advance. All of these things that people tell me constantly all the time that they struggle with have everything, and I mean everything, friends, to do with your ability or inability to speak in public. If there is nothing else that you get from this video that I've shared with you, that would be public speaking, or your ability or inability to speak in public is causing you to struggle in your interviews. Now, if you have any other topics or any issues you've had in interviews and you want to talk a bit more about it, then put it in the comments below. I'd be so incredibly happy to do a video just for you, to give you a shout out on the topic, to help you be able to get to that next level in terms of how you are communicating. Let me know what challenges you all are facing in the interview process. I know you're going through almost 10 rounds of interviews to get one job. I know it's completely ridiculous to me. Sorry, I just think that it is. But ultimately, how you are communicating will help you. And not only will public speaking help you as an individual who is trying to apply for a job, it'll help in your day-to-day conversations. It'll help you as a woman in leadership, a man in leadership, and etc. Now, one thing I do want to mention here for the women in leadership is that oftentimes when we are applying for these senior level type of roles as leaders, we may be the first woman in the role. And sometimes that carries a certain amount of pressure that we are uncomfortable with, because we know we're maybe you're the first woman in your specific industry to do something along this line. It can make it feel just very like uncomfortable because you just don't know what to do. When you have those situations, be encouraged, friend. You can do this. This is the reason why you are very special. You're very unique. Just keep moving forward. And if you need some support, you're always welcome to reach out to me here. Now, for those of you who have joined, I appreciate you being here today and watching the video. As I mentioned, the reason why you are struggling with your interviews as a woman in leadership, a man in leadership, a woman that is not a leader just yet, or a person just in general, is because you are not at a place where you're doing the absolute best you can with your public speaking skills. If you want to convince someone and influence someone to hire you for a role, your ability to speak in public is critically important. You have to have those public speaking skills to do very well, and not taking your public speaking not taking your public speaking skills seriously will continue to cause you to struggle in your interviews. Let me know in the comments below, what are you struggling with in your interviews? I go live Tuesday through Friday here in the mornings and the evenings, majority of the time if I'm available. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Before we go, we have a person in chat. We have Wiley Coyote 5749. You know, Wiley Coyote, I haven't heard that name in a long time. That probably tells my age, but Wile E. Coyote is a cartoon character from Looney Tunes. All right, so you're Queen Latifah's sister. No, I'm not Queen. I'm not Queen Latifah's sister. No, I'm not her sister. But I appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. We just wrapped up talking about why people struggle with their interviews. And just because you just joined Wile E. Coyote 5749, I'm going to tell you that the reason why people struggle with their interviews is because they are not taking it seriously in terms of how they're speaking in public. Most of the time, public speaking skills will absolutely help you to do well in your interviews and will prevent you from struggling. Public speaking is not only for your big events, your TEDx's, your large conversations, speaking to your constituents if you're a public official, etc. Public speaking is for your everyday conversation that you have as a leader. Okay, so Wile E. Coyote 5749 says, yes, hello, welcome, welcome. Glad you stopped by today. This channel, Wile E. Coyote 5749, because I have not seen you on here before, we really focus on advanced level communication skills. If you're a person, if you are a leader, and you're at the point where you're trying to elevate how you are communicating because maybe you want to negotiate a higher salary, you are needing to sound more concise and confident under pressure, maybe you are in a higher level leadership role, this is the channel for you. You learn more advanced strategies that people don't really talk about on YouTube, not just the strategies by themselves, but actual techniques to help you communicate at a higher level than your peers so you can stand out from everybody else as a leader. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to join any of my lives. I go live Tuesday through Friday, typically 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. And this is just what I do. My mission here is really to help y'all. I genuinely believe that people become great by how they communicate. And so my mission here on this earth is to unlock the greatness within you. And my role and how I do this is by sharing with you over 20 years worth of experience of myself as a C-suite executive, a manager, a director, a public speaker, and an executive coach. I've been on the news. I have done a couple publications, and I've interacted with various members of Congress on the national level here in the United States of America and here in the Sunshine State of Florida. So I'm here to really help you all on your level to communicate at a higher level than everybody else. So Wile E. Coyote 5749 says, yes, I see you're able to articulate. Yes, absolutely. It has taken me over 20 years to develop my public speaking skills, which is why it's so incredibly important to master these skills when you are in an interview type of setting. Wile E. Coyote 5749 says, Florida is a great red state. It is a red state. And Florida is a great state. I absolutely love it here in the Sunshine State of Florida. Let me know where you are joining from also. But Florida is a great state. I know sometimes on lives we talk about different topics, but Florida's great. I mean, I've lived in different places in the United States, all over. I've lived in North Carolina, New York, upstate, downstate New York, California, Houston, and Florida. And I visited different places, and I just love the Sunshine State. Sunshine State is great, as Wile E. Coyote 5749 mentioned. So let's see, we have representative here. Oh, you're in the Bronx. Oh, okay. So I actually spent some time in the Bronx. I did my general practice residency there at St. Barnabas Hospital. Okay, it said AOC destroyed our area. Okay, well, I appreciate you sharing that. I haven't been in the Bronx since when? 2010, 2011. So I know the Bronx is, it has its own area. I mean, it's its own culture, it's its own vibe. I know it was challenging for me when I was living in the Bronx, but I learned a lot there, grew up a lot there. I feel like in 1 year, I think I equivocated to living 7 years, because there's just a lot that you have to go with when you're living in the city of New York, regardless of what borough you live in. it's a lot. It's a lot that you have to deal with, and it's probably very different. I was not there when AOC was there. That was a long, long time ago. So I'm just taking your word for it. But this is kind of where we are right now. Hopefully things will improve. Okay, Wally Coyote 5749 says, want to leave and go red state. well, the Sunshine State of Florida is here. There's a lot going on in other states here in the United States. So wherever place is best for you and your family and being able to get to that next level in your career, it's always a good opportunity to look around at different areas. I will tell you, the one thing I do not miss about being in New York, in the city, and down in the Bronx or in upstate New York, where I used to live for a little bit also, is the snow. The snow is something that is just, I'm done with the snow. Wally Coyote 5749 says, Texas, Florida, South Carolina, nice and red. Those are definitely some of your more conservative states. So that is very true. Well, wonderful. Well, I appreciate you all being here today. Hopefully the information I shared with you will help you as you are trying to navigate yourself and do better in your interviews, so you are not struggling in your interviews. You don't have to struggle. You just have to become a better public speaker. It will help you to do so. So I hope you all have an absolute amazing day. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like this content so far, and spend some time on my live tabs. You'll learn a lot of information here, a lot of ways to really elevate yourself and showcase your executive presence and be that leader that stands out from everybody else. And let me see what's going on before we go. Wally Coyote 5749 says, yes, absolutely hate the winters. Oh yes, the winters are, yeah. The winters are, they can be really tough there, especially upstate New York. They're pretty tough, but I remember one time, and after this, I'll finish up our live. There was one time in the Bronx where it snowed so much, so fast that the actual buses had to stop running in the middle of the road. Like I literally had to walk very, very far to get to where I need to go because the bus had to stop. The bus no one could move because it was ice, snowstorm, all that. And that was not fun. But as I mentioned, when you live in the downstate of New York, you will grow for sure. You have no choice but to grow, and you will be able to master skills you never knew you could do, because it's just a harder, it's a harder type of life. It just is. I mean, there's no other way to go around it. It's just challenging to live in the city, but you grow a lot. Many people love the city. I think the city is an amazing city. Honestly, it's one of the best cities here, but there's pros and cons to living in the city. There's a lot of stuff that you have to deal with that many people do not have to deal with necessarily, but that's the cost of living in one of the biggest cities in the world. That's just what it is. Well, I appreciate you all being here today. I hope you have an amazing day, and appreciate you, Wally Coyote 5749, for stopping by today and having a really great dialogue about states here in the United States. So I appreciate you and glad to talk to someone else from the Bronx as well. And I hope you all have a fantastic day.